Listen up, whether you're a seasoned veteran here in Las Vegas or this is your first time visiting the city, you need to avoid making the following 15 mistakes because it can cost you time, it can cost you money, and it could also even cost you your life. What's up, guys? This is your boy George here with Vegas Must Try. If you wouldn't mind giving this video a like, it takes like 2 seconds of your time and it helps promote the channel to other people. Let's get started. The first and one of the most common mistakes people make when they come to Las Vegas, it starts here at the airport, and that is not knowing what the different transportation methods are from the airport to the strip, and it's quite a few. First off, you have Uber and Lyft. As a millennial, I love this option. I take Uber and Lyft pretty much anywhere I go, but here in Las Vegas at the airport, this might change considering this next one, which is taxis. They have a set rate from $21 to $29 depending on where you're going on the strip, and the cool thing about that is that the price is not dynamic like in Lyft or Uber, where those prices change depending on availability of driver. You can also take the city bus, which I don't recommend because it takes you to the station, then you have to find another bus that takes you to the strip. Another option is getting private transportation, and that being like a small sedan, and you can also do a limousine. This is going to be a little more expensive than that. Obviously, you can ask at one of the desks. Another option that's not as common is taking one of the shuttles from the airport to one of the casinos. Depending on where the people are from that shuttle going into which casino, that's where it makes the stops. That usually costs about 15 bucks per person. So if you're coming to Las Vegas, don't just rely on Uber and Lyft like I usually do. Check out the taxis, check out the public transportation or the private route. All right, so the second most common mistake that people make when they come to Las Vegas is thinking that you can walk there. And what I mean by that is that Las Vegas casinos look like they're deceptively closer than they actually are because they're so large. Remember, the Las Vegas Strip is 4.2 miles long. If you're walking from end to end to the Las Vegas Strip, you're gonna end up extremely tired. And definitely do not think it's a good idea to walk from the airport to the Strip. That also looks like a close distance, but you're gonna end up super tired. Don't cheap out from that, budget correctly. Another mistake that people do when they visit Las Vegas is not taking advantage of the free trams and the monorail system. The free trams take you from all MGM properties that are on the south end of the strip, that being the Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur. Then you take another one that's from the Park MGM all the way up to the Bellagio. The monorail, on the other hand, is not free, but it is very convenient because it takes you from the MGM Grand all the way up to the Sahara. So there's a lot of stops there. It can get a little costly. I'm gonna put the prices on the screen right now. So I definitely recommend you doing your research and seeing if you're gonna be going up and down the strip. Let's say you book at the Sahara and you know the south end of the strip, that's where it's popping. You're gonna be using that a lot. Another mistake that people do when they come to Las Vegas is not plan ahead. And I mean specifically when it comes to booking show tickets or making restaurant reservations. The last thing you want is to plan your trip to Las Vegas and just realizing that that restaurant that you wanted to go to is booked up, that specific time that you wanted to watch the show is booked up. So therefore, if you plan ahead, you are gonna have that advantage of budgeting because you're gonna know how much you're spending and you're gonna have your itinerary set so you don't have to stress while you're here. All right, guys, this next one is a bit of a reality check, and that is thinking that you're gonna get a birthday shot anywhere that you go. And let me break it to you, you're not that special here. I worked as a bartender for a couple of months, and the amount of people that I got at the bar asking for a free shot because it was their 21st, their 30th, their 40th, let me tell you, everyone in Vegas is celebrating something, and a lot of people are celebrating a birthday. I would actually comp a shot for a birthday person that was spending a bunch of money at the bar, but just going into a bar and asking for something for free is not gonna work. All right, guys, this next one is kind of funny, but a bit dangerous, and that is thinking that the hot girl at the bar is into you. And what I mean by that is that she might just be a prostitute. So there's a couple of red flags that you should be on the lookout for. Number one is if she's alone. Number two is if she made the first move, if she approached you. Girls in Vegas don't really do that. In general, don't do that, but in Vegas, they're like, you know, pretty girls are gonna have their say here. And number three is if she's way hotter than you would normally get. Like if she's out of your league, she's approaching you and she's alone, guess what? You might be talking to a sex worker. So just be on the lookout. If you want to get your rocks off and all that stuff, I'd say just go to a strip club, you know, have fun legally where it's controlled, because it could be pretty dangerous here. You could get robbed, you could get, you know, a couple of organs go missing here and there. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. While we're on the topic of bars and drinking, I'm gonna give you this rookie mistake, and that is going too hard too soon in your trip. So this mostly applies to first-time comers to Vegas, or if you're 21 years old, somewhere on those ages, and that is because they go way too hard on the first day.
So let's say you're here for 4 days, right? Say you get here Friday. Friday night, you black out completely, and that ruins your whole entire weekend. Saturday, you might miss a show, you might miss dinner reservations because you feel horrible, you can't walk as good, you know, you're nauseous and stuff like that. Some people that are experienced can rally, but I would still suggest you know, to move with caution here. Buy some electrolytes, drink equal water and alcohol portions, because here in Vegas, things can get so fun and sometimes you lose the hang of it. And the very next day, you're gonna end up paying for it. Another rookie mistake that people make is booking shows at the front row. And you're not gonna get the full visual and audio experience that you would anywhere else. The acoustics are off, and you're basically gonna be looking left and right the whole time. It's basically like watching a movie in the front row. Nobody ever really does that. The only time it ever makes sense is if you're watching your favorite artist. Like let's say you're watching Bruno Mars front row, then yeah, that definitely makes sense. But if you're watching the Cirque du Soleil show, the center or the middle back is always the best seats in the house, in my opinion. Plus those theaters aren't usually that big anyway. Another mistake people make is not budget appropriately for their trip. Some people end up running out of money in the middle of their trip, and which ends up, you know, asking for cash advances, getting a second mortgage on the house. So if you don't want to be homeless and if you want to keep your happy marriage, definitely pull out the cash. You have to come in with a game plan, and my game plan is this. So you want to spend, let's say, $200 per day, and you're here for 4 days, bring $800 in cash, leave it with you, and every time you leave the room, you're gonna have $200 in your hand. And it'll be easier for you to budget because you'll feel the money physically leaving your hands. And obviously bring your credit card or debit card in case you really wanna do something and you don't have enough cash with you. You can swipe that baby. The last thing you wanna do is not budget properly and have a ton of credit card debt. So let's say you want to incorporate the last tip I just shared with you. And a big mistake people make is not bringing their cash with them, because ATM fees here are absolutely ridiculous. There's anywhere from $13 to $17 per transaction, plus whatever they charge you at your bank. If you want to avoid those fees, you can go to one of the convenience stores here, like CVS, Walgreens, or ABC stores. If they have an ATM there, it's going to be significantly cheaper. Also, Casino Royale charges like $3 per transaction there, so definitely pull out your cash because you're gonna end up paying a ton of fees here. All right, so when you come to Vegas, do not wander off in sketchy areas. If you're on the Strip, you're pretty much safe, but if you're walking around anywhere like in Naked City or 2 streets over in downtown, or basically anywhere that's a mile away from the Strip, your safety is not guaranteed. And you just use your common sense, right? Vegas is just like any other city. There's crimes that happen, and you know, there's a lot of crazies here. There's a lot of gambling problems, so you could be in danger. So just use your common sense and stay safe out here. So another mistake people make when they come to Vegas is not sign up for the reward memberships here at the casinos. The benefits are twofold. Number one is straight off the bat, you can save 10 to 15% in your hotel rates. Right before you even get to Vegas, you can sign up for free and boom, you already received a really good deal. Now, when you come to Vegas, depending on your gameplay on your whole trip, you become a valuable member to the casino, and sometimes they give you like free show reservations, like they give you slot dollars, they give you a bunch of other little stuff, but sometimes they give you even hotel stays entirely. So definitely consider that, especially if you are a casino player, but if not, 10 to 15% and room nights is not a bad deal. All right, so this one's pretty quick and simple. The most expensive days to book here in Vegas are Fridays and Saturdays. So ask for those PTO hours and come Sunday through Thursday. You're gonna save a ton of money in lodging, and you're gonna have a good time because there's a ton of things to do here in Vegas, even if it's not Friday and Saturday. Okay, so another rookie mistake that people make when they visit Vegas is not tipping. Not understanding that Las Vegas tip culture is embedded is a big mistake. One, because you're probably gonna get bad service if you don't tip ahead of time, especially when it comes to free drinks. And two, it just becomes a little bit rude because it's part of the culture here. So if you're visiting from abroad, I understand that you don't know, but that's just simply it. Now, if you actually do know and you decide not to tip, you know, you're kind of an asshole. What's up, brother?
Going, dude. I found a few places.
Hell yeah, man. You guys have a good night. And look, I get it. You're gonna say, oh, the big businesses and the bosses should pay them more. Yes, I agree with you. But the reality is that you saying that on the comments and not tipping them is not gonna change anything. They still have mouths to feed and they have, you know, a livelihood to maintain. All right, so we made it to the final tip, and that is not taking advantage of all the free attractions and things to do when in Las Vegas. Lucky for you, I made a video about this. detailing 15 free things to do while in Las Vegas. And for your convenience, I'm gonna link it right up here. You can go ahead and watch this after this video concludes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video or found it helpful whatsoever, please remember to give this video a like. It really does help out tremendously with the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. And if you want to let me how big of an idiot you think I am, let me know in the comments or share some other tips that you think are helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next time. Peace out.